Well, we have some people here who rescue wild horses and other creatures for a very good reason. Great to have you on, Kim Marr.
Great to be here, Sandy. Thank
And
you
you're
for
the
having me.
founder of Wildhorse Ranch Rescue.
I am, yes. It's our 22nd year rescuing animals.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
And Mel Shutz, I don't know how you got involved, my friend, but you are a big supporter of Wildhorse Ranch Rescue.
I'm on their advisory board, and I wish that they were a little bit closer because I'd love to be there every day, but they are a little bit of a ride from here.
Because you're in Prescott and they're in Gilbert.
They're in Gilbert. I was at the ranch in January, got to see some of my friends that I hadn't seen in a little while.
Fabulous.
Which was great.
Well, you make a big difference, but you were saying before, you're a Philly boy. I mean, you never been like around horses.
I hadn't been, no. I love animals. In fact, I grew up without even having a dog all my life, so it's only been dogs that have been in my life for the last 20 years or so.
Amazing.
But as far as horses and burros as well, I've
found
sponsored specific ones at the ranch.
Wonderful.
And
well, I tell you, found your calling, and I think, Kim, same thing with you. You were not raised in the country with horses
I was
either,
raised in Saginaw, Michigan, inner city, so not around horses at all, and ended up in Arizona and had a horse and got a horse farm and found out that 100,000 horses every year don't go to good places, and said, I can help a few.
And this is really, a focus for you because you rescue a lot of horses and other animals who would otherwise be slaughtered.
Absolutely, yeah. And that's a word people have a hard time hearing, but it's a reality.
Well, and it's a word that fits what happens to these creatures because it's not a nice word. It's not the way they're slaughtered is not nice usually either. But anyway, why? So you got into the horses and that you found out were going to be slaughtered or whatever, and you said, I'm going to make a difference. How did you start Wildhorse Ranch?
I had 11 stalls, and I said, okay, I can help 11. And I was working for Intel Corporation back then. And then you figure out pretty quickly that even if you make an okay salary, you've got a finite amount of funds, and there are 100,000 horses that need help. So I became a 501c3, I think, in 2000. Wow. And our annual budget when I started was maybe around 19,000, and we're pretty close to 300,000 now. We've saved over 200 horses, hundreds of dogs and cats, a peacock, a couple of rats, a turkey named Tim.
You have some burros. I have pictures of your burros.
It's not only the white horse that saves turkeys, right?
It's turkeys
White
too.
House.
Yeah.
Oh my heavens! So your heart just expanded all over this whole thing, and you just have to save all the animals. But the horse thing I know is specifically distressing because they are slaughtered. 100,000 a year. You're saying,
right.
This
and
is
they're not
around
slaughtered
the world?
in this. That's American horses. So we don't have slaughter plants in our country anymore, but they go to Mexico or Canada. And if you think about horses and their physiology, they have long necks, they're really flighty. They don't go through the slaughter process like pigs and cows do. Those are short-necked animals. You can get that captive bolt to their head, render them unconscious. Horses are like, oh, don't even think about getting that thing near me. So it can never be done humanely.
It's distressing for them all the time, no matter where. Are there alternatives to slaughtering horses?
There are, and one of the biggest alternatives would be there's a new bill in Congress, H.R. 113. It's called the SAFE Act, and it's basically trying to pass a bill to stop American horses from being transported to be slaughtered.
Other countries.
To other countries.
Well, they do eat the horse meat, unfortunately.
Right.
Oh, I see.
It's
so a
not
lot
just
of our horses are going abroad for food.
For food.
Yeah, people eat horse meat in other countries. They're not. This isn't for dog food. This is for humans in other countries that eat horse meat. So the reason this is an alternative is horses end up at the auction, and that's where people called slaughter buyers or kill buyers pick up our horses, and they bid against families who are just trying to get a horse for their kid or maybe a companion for another horse, and these guys outbid regular families. So those horses could go to really good families if horse slaughter was illegal, if something like this bill would pass.
So there is a bill right now to that very effect.
Yeah.
That they can't bid for slaughter on these horses.
Right, it hasn't passed. It's been introduced, and every Congress this happens. We introduce a bill to protect our horses. It's called various names. Back when I was with the American Horse Defense Fund, when that book was written, it was called the American Horse Slaughter Prevention Act. Now they're going a different route. They're calling it the SAFE Act, which is basically talking about how the meat is poisoned because we medicate our horses. They are pets. They're domestic animals. We deworm them and we vaccinate them,
Right.
and that makes their meat unsafe for human consumption. But foreign people don't eat horse meat. 'Cause
Well,
apparently they're not telling you that we poison the meat.
And hopefully they would not go hungry without the horses. But also the mules. You rescue mules who would also be slaughtered.
Absolutely, yeah. Horses, mules, thoroughbreds, wild horses, and everything in between. But we're most proud of the fact that we take in the U.S. Forest Service horses.
A lot of the animals that are retired from
Right.
service, from working, which might normally be put down right after they were no longer useful, are now coming to the ranch, or available to come to the ranch, and obviously other rescues as well, to save lives.
Well, that's fabulous. Do you adopt some of these out?
We do adopt them
Oh,
out.
good. Okay.
Most people want rideable horses, so and we don't have a criteria that they have to be rideable to come to our ranch. We take in abuse cases, severe neglect cases, but we do get rideable horses in, and they get adopted like that.
All right, check this out. It's wonderful. We've got the website information on the screen. Kim Marr, Wildhorse Ranch Rescue, and also Mel Shutz, a great supporter. Thank you both for coming on and advising us of what's going on. And thanks for what you do.
Thank you, Sandy.
Wow,
Thank you so much.
phenomenal work.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
All right.